were doing horizontal filming, and then it was like, you have to change, you have to make it portrait so that it will work. So there we go. I'm just trying to fiddle around with the camera. Hello everyone. Hello my fellow chatterers. Hello book lovers. Hello adventurers, and everyone who wants to dip their toe in or is a massive lover of middle grade books. This is the first Journeyathon live sprints. I don't know how many I'm going to be doing. When I did the original Journeyathon, I was much more organized and had like set times, but quite frankly I feel amazed that I actually managed to do Journeyathon at all. It just feels all a bit crazy at the moment. So I don't want to promise lives that might not come to pass. But here is one. Hello, if you are joining us not live, I appreciate you popping in all the same. I hope you enjoy the sprints and talking about your middle grade books in the comments and just feeling that you're reading with friends, because that's the whole point of all of this. So I am going to be starting off, you might have guessed, with the book over here if you're watching this with the eyeballs, Silverborn, the fourth and the most recent book to come out of the Nevermore series by Jessica Townsend. I have not picked it up yet. I intended to yesterday, and I wanted to start reading it yesterday, but I wasn't able to do a live yesterday. It just didn't happen, and I have just been anticipating it. I haven't really had a lot of moment where I can just give my brain fully into a book. So before I go into Silverborn a bit more thoroughly, I am going to be talking about the book that I have started reading, and that is the final book in the 5 Worlds graphic novel series, and this one is called The Emerald Gate. So I have been enjoying this graphic novel series. I started the first one in January, which is called The Sand Warrior, and this is by Mark Sigil, Alexis Sigil, Idance Boomer, Matt Rockefeller and Boya Sun. So a mixture of storytellers and artists, and the artwork in this is just incredible. It's so wonderful. The world building, the details, the arcs these characters are going on. I'm just really loving the series. Each book takes place on a different planet, hence the 5 worlds, and we are finally in the kind of like the green vegetation planet, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. I've no idea how it's all going to happen. There's more kind of backstory happening. We are going towards this big showdown, and it's not quite as straightforward as we were originally thinking with this. So I've got very far. And so I thought I was about halfway, but I did squeeze in a little bit of reading while I was waiting for the oven to warm up for my kids' dinner. So I've only got a little bit left, so I will be finishing that tonight. So I picked this one up. This is the book that I'm reading for Prologtum. So this is my first book, starting the journey, getting the maps and bearings. We're ready to go. So I haven't decided yet where I'm going to go next. And I will think about that later on and what's going to be happening. Silverborn, I'm going to be reading it at set points throughout the week. I intend to read 8 chapters a day, so reading it over a week, because I really want to enjoy it. I want to think about it and speculate and chat with people on the Discord. So as well as this being a book for Journeyathon, I suppose this is kind of the final of the Mog-Along as well. So if you are aware of what the Mog-Along is, then and have been following along, I hope you're just as excited as me to finally be opening Silverborn. If you're not aware of what the Mog-Along is, it is a read-along of the Nevermore books. So the main character is called Morrigan Crow. So it's always like the something of Morrigan Crow. So the first book is Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Crow, and Silverborn is the mystery of Morrigan Crow. So I'm so excited to start that. I'm going to make sure that I don't do spoilery things when I'm talking about it, because I don't know if you're planning to pick up the Nevermore series and I don't want to give anything away. So I'm hoping I'll be able to talk about how excited I am, but at the same time not be dropping clangers of spoilers that you just don't want to hear. I won't be doing that. Okay, so let's talk about Silverborn. I'm also going to need to have a drink of water as well, because my throat is already very dry. I have put ice cubes in this because it is so hot, and they have all melted to little tiny things. But it's lovely and cold. Okay, this is my copy of Silverborn. This is the UK copy. So I'm just going to do a little spin around so you can see it in all its glory. On the back, we have Unravel the Mystery. So I'm very curious to know what this mystery is going to be. I'm also very, very excited because Jessica Townsend has said that the first 3 Morrigan Crow books all focus on specifically Nevermore. Look at this naked hardcover. It is like a fantasy Venice with beautiful purple colouring. I'm very, very excited. I do tend to take the dust jackets off when I read the Nevermore books, so it is now going to look like this. So I could display the dust jacket here. That would be cool if I can actually set it up. We'll give 5 Worlds a little bit of screen time up there and slot that in. That may all fall over because that's just papery and not really substantial, but we'll see. So the first 3 Nevermore books are all based very specifically sort of like in Nevermore. We do not venture out of that free state, but it does talk about there being like 7 pockets of the free state. So I think we start to maybe go a little bit further outside of Nevermore. So we're not going to go into necessarily the Wintersea Republic, which is where Morrigan Crow was first from. So that is made of 4, the Wintersea Republic is made of 4 different places, and that is different to Nevermore and the 7 pockets. So we may find different places in here, which is going to be so exciting. But I am so excited to be back with Morrigan and to be back in the hotel with all of the friends and family and the different challenges that she'll be facing and seeing where we go from there. There are lots of big questions that I have considering how we left off after the 3rd book. So I'm really looking forward to diving in and talking about those. So let me know what you are reading. Have you been planning? Have you got your set books planned? Have you no idea what Journeyathon is and you've just popped into the sprint? Just tell me what you're reading anyway. You don't have to read a middle grade. That is essentially what we are doing. But if you're reading something else, that's absolutely fine. You only need to read 1 middle grade for Journeyathon. Recently today, it was supposed to be released a few days ago, but my editing and filming ability has just been a little bit not been a bit tight for time with all of that, so I only managed to get it out today. But that does go through if you want to kind of do a little bit more with Journeyathon rather than just reading set books with the prompts. I have got magical items that can aid you on your journey, and I have revealed which places they are hidden in, so you can use some of those to give you a little bit of extra help as you go around your planned books. And I have also revealed if you wanted to buy any of the imaginary traveling items in the Encompass stores, then I have told you what that does. So for example, if you buy a cooking stove, that will give you a backpack bonus for different prompt points. So I have got several extra prompts depending on the locations called backpack bonuses, and you're only allowed to use those if you have one of those items in your possession. And this all kind of comes from previously, like the points from the previous Journeyathon and any you've done with the catch-up bingo mat. It's all a load of fun. You don't have to do it. It's just there if you want to, because I'm having a great time doing it. So and that's kind of what this is all about. It's my little creative project. So I think we'll kick off with the first sprint, because I can't believe I've had this in my hand for so long and I still haven't read anything yet. So I will definitely be reading at least 8 chapters today, hopefully yesterday's chapters as well. So maybe 16 by the end of sprints is what I want to do. That's not going to happen at the end of sprints. I'll probably be reading on into the wee hours of the morning. I don't know. I may fall asleep with my head in the first pages. So I'm going to start off with 20 minutes for the first sprint, and then I will check back in with you all. So let's put this up. Sorry about the horrible beeping. That's the timer we have. I can't do anything fancy. I'm filming off my phone. I've not done a live for a long time, so there's no fancy banners. There's no fancy screensavers, little recordings. It is just a bog standard timer. So there we go. Enjoy your books, and I will talk to you shortly. on, sweetie. Yeah. What's that, darling? Okay, that was possibly 20 minutes. I don't know exactly, because I realised partly the way through the sprint that I hadn't actually pressed start on the timer, so I had no idea. I can now actually see there is a time clock on the live, so I could have actually looked at that, but I didn't, so I just guessed. So roughly 20 minutes. You'll have a better idea than me as to whether that was actually 20 minutes or not. So for anyone who has joined since then, I'm just going to apologise for my technology skills. I am doing all this on my phone. I've not done a live on my phone before, but my laptop, it can't cope with live. So the last one I did was the Amari read along, and if you have seen that footage, it is very crackly. It's not great. So the time for doing it on the laptop is definitely gone, which means I can't really I can't work this that well, so I'm really sorry about that, but I will chat to you in between. We'll have some sprints, and then if you write any comments, then I will respond afterwards. I think I can do that. I don't know, but thank you so much for being here. I'm really enjoying Silverborn. So I managed to get the first 3 chapters read. I just started on chapter 4, and like I said, I won't obviously do spoilers because that would be really mean, but I will say we start off this book not with Morrigan, so there's kind of like a stuff happening, and it's not Morrigan we're focusing on. So we get a little glimpse of other people in Nevermore. We get a little glimpse of what their sort of more of the background, not so much the background of the world, but how things work in the world. Like, I'm really fascinated by how they do time and the ages in this world. It's brilliant. So we get a little bit more info about that, which is great. Then we join our usual characters, and it's a lot of fun. I'm already giggling quite a lot at some of the stuff they're kind of saying to each other, and it's a little bit tense at the same time. So yeah, brilliant start to Journeyathon. I have not decided what I'm going to class Silverborn as yet, because I'm reading it in bit by bit. With the rest of the books, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep following my journey and reading as I go. You don't have to do that. You can have whatever prompts you're going to be hitting and just kind of read books however you want. You could start off by reading your City of Party book and then go over and read your Locked Tower book and then your Prologton book. I don't know how you want to do it, but I'm going to try and do it because I find it more fun. I want to try and do it so I'm actually going on a journey. So my official starter book is the 5 Worlds, the Emerald Gate. So that's the one I've officially started because that's my book with a map. And I don't know what Silverborn's gonna fit into as a prompt. I haven't decided yet. So we'll find out. Random books are just falling off my shelves, which is great fun. So one thing I do need to do now, I do need to update the Google documents, because I now have one where it reveals where the hidden objects are and which backpack bonus prompts correlate to which items, so you can have a little bit more information of that. So that is something I will do, and there will be more specific graphics with the mapped out journeys coming up as well. So they'll be out. There is all the normal stuff is out there. You have all the places on the map. You have a copy of if you wanted to like have a little graphic for kind of updating everyone about what book you've just read. There are some little templates for that. There's a little passport where you can kind of put the books and the prompts as you go, and I will also be uploading the little graphics I've got of the different travel tickets for the different paths as we go along. So all of that will kind of be happening. They'll all be coming out soon, but most of the stuff is in there. So I am going to start another sprint in a moment, and I'm going to be coinciding that with actually getting my children to bed because they're not asleep yet. I've just kept them quiet whilst I do a little bit of sprints of reading because I've not managed to get organised, which is a shame. But that's what I'm going to be doing sort of within the next sprint. The next sprint. So Silverborn that I'm reading doesn't have a map, so I can't use that one for Prologton. But 5 Worlds has got a very nice map. it's a bit green. I don't know if you can see it. So this is the map of the final planet in this graphic novel series that we have. So that's my one with the map. I am a little bit gutted we don't have an Evermore map. Like, maybe that's something that will kind of come. I don't know, but I'd love a level map. Maybe it's too tricky because of all the tricksy lanes and different places as they go off. But I think a Evermore map would be really cool. Maybe it will come later. We'll have to find out. I have been watching the Jessica Townsend videos as she recaps the books as she goes along. I did laugh that she hasn't completely done them all because she wanted to film them before she was going off on tours, and she didn't manage to, which I find quite funny because I feel very much like we can kind of relate to that. We don't always have everything ready to go and be able to do it as we go along. Oh, that's going well, isn't it? Nothing is damaged. There's the beautiful cover and this book. That was quite precarious. I will rethink my book propping up skills in a moment. That didn't work, did it? I've lost my thread. Jessica Townsend. So I have caught up to date with what's out from what she was talking about with Hollowpox, but we've still got the last third of Hollowpox to get all the recap and all of her information from. I'm loving all the little tidbits she kind of has as she talks about where certain things have come from and what inspired her with certain bits, and which kind of came out of the blue and which she'd have planned for a while, and conversations or things that she had to change and she's put in different places. And I think I just find all of that stuff really fascinating. So I'm currently up to date with all of those, so I'm very hyped for picking up Silverborn. And I'm really annoyed that I can't carry on reading and I have to go and do some mothering, which is important, but not continuing to read Silverborn, unfortunately. Okay, let's do another sprint, and then we will. So I'll do another 20 minutes. So maybe I will be able to get a bit of reading in. So I'm going to leave you here with the timer and with the beautiful Silverborn in its naked hardback glory looking at you. I hope you're reading some enjoyable books and you're off to a good start on your journeys. It's because it's a bit wobbly. There we go. Right, I'm going to try that, and then let's see if I can use these kind of book boxy things here. So I have next to me, I have all these hollow books that I got from Fairy Loot. This one has got all my bookmarks in it, which gives me a lot of joy. So they just kind of like sit here almost like they're a little table. So let's use them to prop some stuff up so it doesn't keep falling down. That's better. And I'll see if I can put 5 Worlds up there as well. Oh, no, we've got a coaster in the way. Let's try that. That's a bit better. It's also getting quite a lot darker, so I will have to draw the curtains and put the light on in a minute. Right, that's ever so slightly more interesting for you to look at whilst I leave you to do some reading. Right. Again, sorry for the beeps. This is just doing it all old school without the fancy bits and pieces and timers. There we go. The time is actually ticking down, so that is good. Just put that there. Happy reading, and I will see you shortly.
That was quite freaky because I just got to a particular point in the book that's quite terrifying as the beeper went off. Oh my goodness. I was partially during that sprint encouraging bedtime, partially popping in to read as certain tasks were completed. Bedtime is nearly finished. We're not quite there yet. So I will also be having to pop out in the next sprint as well to finish that off. But I mean, this book has just started with a bang. For those of you who've just joined, you can't see because I've taken the cover off, but this is actually Silverborn that I'm reading, which is the fourth book in the Nevermore series by Jessica Townsend, which is a middle grade fantasy, and it's incredible. And we have been just waiting for this book for years and years and years, and I feel very confident that Jessica Townsend is just going to deliver it because she's an amazing author, and it's already so good. And I am on chapter possibly 4. I haven't read much more. Yes, chapter 4. I have not read a lot in this sprint that we have just done. But I hope that you are enjoying the books that you are currently reading within your sprints. Have you got planned TBRs, or are you just kind of winging it as you go along through this? I also apologise again. I am filming this on my phone. I've not done a live on my phone before, so I'm not completely sure how it works.
I don't know how to look the chat up and respond to comments or anything like that. So I am hopeful, because you get those comments, you can still see live chat comments after it's been recorded. So I will respond to those comments from the live chat in the actual comments. So thank you for chatting and joining in. I do really appreciate this. I am just not great with the technology, so I apologize about that, and hopefully I will get it worked out a bit better for next time. But yes, I do hope that you are enjoying what you're reading. I have not firmed up all my middle grade books, which I'm quite excited about. So Silverborn was the only one I absolutely was planning in. And then I think I'm possibly going to be looking at finishing a lot of middle grade series. I've got quite a few that I have one book left to finish. So it's going to be working out what those are. And I did get a couple come up in my July TBR game as well, which I am excited for. And then there might just be some random ones that I just throw in the mix just because, which also makes it exciting. So I am going to be kind of going through the journey and really just trying to like let the prompts help me work out which books I'm going to do next. So that will be a lot of fun. Books I intend to, so in terms of series that I'm wanting to catch up with, I have got out, let me go and grab it because I think it's just over here. Oh, it appears to have moved. No, it's not, it's there. There we go. So as you can see, I'm incredibly organised. I have got the Ember Spark series. This is by Abby Elphinstone. I've read The Frost Phoenix. The final one is one about a unicorn. And I've moved the bookmark that has the exact title on it, which is annoying. So it's Ember Spark is a magical vet. So this is kind of a slightly younger middle grade age range. So it's just a lot of fun. There is still like tension and danger within here, but there is a lot of just adorable magical creatures, finding out some more about them and just enjoying all those sort of like bonds and things. And at the same time, you do also have Ember sort of dealing with sort of like different changes in her life that she feels a little bit worried about as well. The other book that I hope to get to is the final book in the Green Wild. I think it's a trilogy. I think this is the final book. This is by Perry Thomas, and this is called The Forest in the Sky. So I love the artwork. It's a bit glossy, but I love the artwork that we have on these. So we have got Daisy, and I can't remember the name of the cat, but there's her cat friend. And this is a character that we met in the City of the Sea, the second book. And then we've got a load of jungle animals around them and this gorgeous kind of like orange sky going on here. And the tagline at the back says, "Every tree is a world in itself," Ma had said, "full of magic." So I think they're finally kind of going towards the place they've been wanting to get to for quite a while to do a bit of a rescue mission. So I am excited for that one. What were the other ones that I was thinking of reading in terms of finishing off a series for myself? There were some more and they're eluding me. Oh, yes, I do have these. Okay, so recently my mum Nata visited me and we did a few like bookshoppy things, and we went to some secondhand bookshops because she wanted to go and have an explore and kind of add to her collection, and they had the next two books in the Evelyn Jones series. So I have I've read The Haunting of Evelyn Jones. I think it was a couple of years ago now. And I really loved it and wanted to own the next two before I read them. So I now have The Bewitching of Evelyn Jones, which is the second one, and The Vanishing of Evelyn Jones. And chatting on my Discord, I can't remember the name. I'm so sorry, but thank you so much for informing me that actually The Bewitching of Evelyn Jones is set in summer. And as a seasonal reader, I put a lot of, I really want to read books at the right time. So July is summer. So this would be perfect because I had mentally popped them in for autumn. So I would like to pick up The Bewitching of Evelyn Jones at some point as well and continue with this series. And The Vanishing is set in winter. So I'm obviously going to be saving that one for winter. So that'll be quite exciting. I'm sure there were some other series and they've completely gone from my head that I was thinking of reading. That was it. I I haven't got it to hand, but I recently read the Whisperwicks by Jason Lee, and I have adored that book. It was brilliant. So my eldest child, who I call my Mad March Hare, has been on at me to read that book. He got it for Christmas and he read it, I think it was quite early on in the year, sort of like January, February time. And since then he's been like, when are you reading it? When are you reading it? And I actually buddy read it in June as part of the Middlegrade Readers' Choice Awards. We were going through the top 5 books for that, and Whisperwicks was the one we had for June. And there's the second book. It came out in March. What was that? Whisperwicks: The Impossible Trial, I think it's called. It's got foresty things on the cover and there's cogs down the side. So I'm very excited to get to that one because I loved reading the Whisperwicks. So I could pick that one up as well. There's part of me that kind of wants to hold on to it until we get to, just so I can kind of sit with the Whisperwicks and just keep anticipating the next one. But there's another part of me that just wants to crack on and carry on reading that series because it's awesome. And then the third one is due to be published March next year. So series, I think, is where I'm feeling it at the moment. Although that could change. I might just pick up some random ones in between. I don't know. Okay, I think we're going to do a final sprint for this live. And I'm going to do 20 minutes again. I quite like that number. It seems like a decent amount of time, but like not too long as well. So I'm hopeful that I'm literally just going to make sure lights are going out and then I can just come back, sit here and read. Of course, if anyone has done any type of parenting, we know that's all very dependable and it might not happen, but fingers crossed that it does. So I have, where's Morgan gone? Where have I put her? She's over here. Oh, that was a scary moment. We don't want to be without the book we're reading. Okay, Morgan is primed and ready for when I can do that. So get ready to enjoy your last bit of reading, everyone. And I'll make sure I actually press the timer. So we've got 20 minutes. We're going in. Woo! We're on countdown. So speak to you soon. Enjoy your books. Oh dear, the timer just kind of gets me at very kind of key parts of this book. I'm just finishing possibly chapter 5. I was going to say possibly 6. It's not. Chapter 5. And then there's a nice little found family friendship moment that is bringing a wee little tear to my eye. So I was just enjoying that. Yes. I can't really say any more. I can't tell you any more. This is the 4th book in a series. I can't give you more information because that would be terrible. But all I can say is that I'm loving it. That's essentially all there is to say. Okay, I'm not going to do any more sprints. I'm just going to kind of wrap up this live, and I just want to say thank you so much for coming and joining me. I hope that you are reading some really lovely middle grade books at the moment, and I hope you continue to enjoy the journey as it all goes. I will be responding to the comments on here afterwards. I do apologize again. I'm not very good with the techie stuff, so I will go through those. And if you are wanting to chat about anything in the Discord, do click the link in the description box and it will take you to Middle Grade Mad Chat, where we do have a lot of conversations about middle grade books, which is lots of fun. So thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of the evening or day, depending what time you're watching this in, and enjoy the rest of your reading week. Happy reading, everyone. Bye. Now I need to work out how to stop being live because it's not very clear. It's really not very clear. Close. No. Excellent. This is, there we go. Does that work? Yes. Okay, found it. I found the button to stop streaming. Thanks, everyone. It's clearly a rookie live, shall we say. Happy reading. Bye.